Hello, my name is Sam McLure, founder of the adoption law firm.
And my name is Morgan Broyles, and I'm an associate attorney with the adoption law firm. And today we will be discussing the basics of surrogacy adoption.
And surrogacy adoption is a relatively new area of the law. And today Morgan's going to walk through some of the basics of surrogacy adoption with us.
So the first thing that you and your spouse will want to do is find the right surrogate. So this could be finding the right person that maintains the right mental health, the right physical activity, and lives the lifestyle that you and your spouse agree upon.
Right. And so I think probably that's the most daunting part of the process is how do I find somebody that I trust enough to carry my child for 9 months? Broaching those initial conversations, I think it might be a little bit awkward, but we would love to help coach you through how to find the surrogate that meets you and your spouse's needs.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first part of this, like Sam said, is finding the right surrogate. Once you find the right surrogate, then that's when we can step in and also help you through the process. And that's learning how to have these difficult conversations, coming up with all the right answers. And we basically help coach you through that. And then we come up with an agreement between you, your spouse, and the surrogate through this process.
And this is the surrogacy, or sometimes it's referred to as the gestational agreement. And this is really what sets the boundaries, it sets the fences. Good fences make good neighbors, which is why it's so important to have a solid agreement on the front end. That's really where most of the work gets done, is intimately, from our perspective, intimately understanding the intended parent and what their preferences are, and helping them navigate all the maybe worst case scenarios in a surrogacy gestational agreement, and then staying on board to consult through the process to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Yeah, absolutely. As Sam said, that is the key during this process. It's because you want to hammer kind of everything out in the beginning. So once the child comes to birth and you're enjoying your new family, you don't want anything to arise that you could have basically mended at the beginning.
And if the surrogate is somebody that the intended parents or adoptive parents know personally, it can really be awkward to have some of those difficult discussions, like, okay, how much do you want to get paid, and you're going to, and when is payment going to happen, and what things are going to eat, and prenatal vitamins. And so it's really helpful to have a mediator step in and help to facilitate those difficult conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that we can come alongside you with and help you with during this process, is because we want to make sure that every detail is hammered out, whether that's the right amount of exercise that you want, that, like Sam said, the nutrition, any vitamins that you want her to take, any activity you want her to refrain from. That's where we can step in during this time and help walk you through this.
So at the very beginning, I think it's important to define terms. So surrogacy agreements, or a surrogate mother, is a pretty common vernacular, but it's actually called a gestational agreement in most laws around the country, right? Most state laws.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, as Sam said, it's definitely important to kind of lay the difference out. So essentially, in the state of Alabama, what happens is you find a gestational carrier, they carry your child through pregnancy. However, once that child is born, an adoption still has to occur. This isn't how it is in every state, though. So in some states, you don't have to go through an adoption process after birth. So in some states, your rights are immediately attached upon birth of the child, and no adoption process is needed.
Right. It's important to us at the adoption law firm that the process goes as smoothly as possible. I think we want your heart and your head to be exploding with the idea of being a new parent, picking out nursery colors, and all the fun things that go along with that. And so we want to take as much of those details and the risks off of your mind. And I'm so thankful that Morgan Broyles is establishing herself as an expert in the field of surrogacy, embryo adoption, and we would love to discuss with you what the process could look like for you and your family to pursue adoption through surrogacy.